Good morning, all you beautiful Bible buddies out there. I didn't understand any of that. Now, mind you, I'm recording this February 28th while I was, just finished reading the Bible. Just because it's a little bit. It's meant to be funny, okay? Anyways, moving on. I'm going to put this in at the beginning, more or less. Good day once again, all you beautiful Bible buddies out there. It is time. I kind of started it off already, but that was immediately after finishing Revelations and whatnot. So I wanted to get this done and out of the way before I go and get my hair all taken care of. Because even if I haven't finished this video, and Lord knows how long this video is going to go on, even if I haven't finished all my thoughts at that point, I will not be finishing it because, well, just because, more or less. I don't feel like we'll get into it. How about that? So, thoughts. Very, very applicable things in both the Old and New Testaments. A lot more so the New Testament for our day and age than the Old, but the Old still holds up, which is something that I've heard, is that a lot of places don't really teach the Old Testament as well as they should, and I do feel like it would be loads better if more productive in a way if people were more interested in their religion, sharing it, understanding it. I don't want to call it debating it, but helping people find their way through it. Like, obviously, at the end of the day, it's going to be their journey. It's going to be your journey, whoever's out there listening. Just like I've had my own. It may take a while for you to come to him, or maybe, and I hope and pray not, you deny him all your life, but I don't want to say it is, because it's not. I've seen the ups and downs in my area of churchgoers and church attendees and church-related stuff. It definitely has to do, at the end of the day, with us as the people. So, understanding both the Old and the New Testament, how the Old affects the New, and how the New, even in a way, plays into the Old, is of vital essence. Because, it's not like Jesus came here to abolish the law or anything. No. And something I'll say is that I kind of very loosely, because there's no way I'm going to be able to fully understand it, mind you, but I kind of understand. I tend to take the simplistic approach to things in a way. Sometimes to my own detriment. But I kind of understand Revelations. It's the simplistic view of it, it's the end. Now, mind you, there's some to be had there, because it's like, theoretically, Jesus only comes back down once at the end, when Satan's final 1,000-year reign, I do believe, because they throw him into the pit, and then they're like, pull him out of the pit, let him reign for a little bit longer, and then throw him back in. I think when he gets thrown back in that second time there is when Jesus actually does come back. Now, I'm not certain of that. That's just me guessing, from what I've read, and so don't take that as me predicting. Like a thief in the night, he will return. Okay. This is just merely prediction at the end of the day. But again, it's going to be a bunch of chaos, plagues, death, destruction, pestilence. Well, plagues. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. It's relatively simple. I don't know, in a way, why people, because one of the other reasons why I got into reading the Bible, again, there's going to be a multitude, and I won't be able to make a list. I was going to use AI to kind of help me do this, but why would I do that? These are going to be my own thoughts and opinions. And no need for any sort of outside influence other than, Jesus and the Holy Spirit, all that. was because me and my dad would get into heavy debates about revelations and whatnot. Now, the other thing that I can understand is there are some people out there that believe we're already living revelations, which could make sense given some of the things that have happened. I don't know. That part, I could see it. Does it make it true? No. I'm going to say about 60 to 75%. Possibility exists. Yeah. But aside from that, like I said, I was reading to kind of, and obviously it's more Jesus's and God's story than it is mine, but I was looking for snippets of my life, if you will, in there. Because it's not like God hasn't not seen any of this, because he has. And to my dismay, there are some things that heavily applied to me, both in Old Testament and in New Testament. I was just reading one that kind of made me thank the Lord just before making this video. It was, let ye who are thirsty come to drink the water of eternal life. And, why are you spending your money on things that are not bread and your labor on things that do not satisfy? And, let the wicked man forsake his way, let the wicked forsake their way, and the unrighteous their thoughts. And I'm like, yeah, that fits. It kind of sucks though, because outside of those things, I don't want to say I don't, but I kind of just, to be blunt and honest, I don't really have that much that I enjoy. Now, maybe as time goes on, and as I continue to put my faith in the Lord and to walk in more of the righteous path, I will in due time. It's just, and this is something somebody close to me said a long time ago, you don't fix, well, let's just say 10 years of terrible actions in one night or even a year, because ultimately what kind of kicked this off was a year ago. I quit smoking weed. I quit smoking cannabis, and I really liked it. I really do. And that's not the only thing that I've done in the line of drugs and alcohol and whatnot. But it definitely consumed more of my life than it should have. And that's more a me thing. At the end of the day, I'm willing and I want to take responsibility. And I don't know. There's so much to go into there, but at the same time, I don't need nor feel the want nor feel encouraged to air out all my dirty laundry on the internet and whatnot. I'm not perfect. I never will be. I won't claim to be. Maybe at one point I would have, but definitely not anymore. Ever since I've started letting go of such things. And then, on top of that, once again, one of the other reasons that kind of got me into the Bible, I'll probably drop their names in the description. I'll do my best to remember that. But there's a few content creators. One of them I haven't actually seen pop up in my feed for a while. There's one that's on both TikTok and YouTube, straight off the bat. I'll also say this, The Chosen. Chosen was another reason. Another major reason. But there's this person that goes by Run the Cheese On. Here, I'll kind of, I can pull their name up the fastest here. Or no, not Run the Cheese On. Cheese Stickers. Cheese Sticker 12. CheesSticker 12. And I'll pull up my TikTok real quick. Don't No, advertisement. Okay, cool. Following. I don't. Please stop. Please stop. How about I just turn down my volume? Let's see if I can scroll them. Anna Miriam Brown. That one was really cool. They're really cool. They make something really cool. Anyways, they appeared through all of this. I'll spell that for you. ANNA_MIRIAM_BROWN. That was cheese sticker there. Come on. Did I not follow? There's another one. This one, they're really cool. I really like them. They've kind of been positive lately, and I like that. ANNATHINKSDEEPLY. Anna Thinks Deeply. Really cool. Their journey is amazing, and I've been enjoying following it and whatnot. There's one person, and I've mentioned them in a video before, kind of lightly. I won't specify how, and I highly doubt I'll get them to pop up on my For You page right now. This person that came up, I haven't followed them either, but they've been more recent. I've liked their content. Their name is Yennefer, YENNIFUR. Can I get this person to pop up out of nowhere somehow, possibly? It's not entirely looking like it. Oh, this is another one that's popped up in the past week. Lil Nina, LILNINA. Now, mind you, a lot of these ones ever since Cheese Sticker have been mainly on TikTok, so... Can I get that person to pop up? Let's see if I can find them in my history. Like I said, this video may go on for a bit. I'm doing my best to kind of just get the last thoughts and feelings out before I say goodbye, essentially. So, let me find them. It's been so long since I've seen a video from them. I'm sorry, this is taking a minute. I scroll TikTok way too much and repost and like way too much, but you know what it is. I'll tell you, that's another goal of all of this, is ultimately, and this is most likely just for me, technology has been more hurtful than helpful, so... there's another guy. I'll tell you about him as well. Josh Wright Guided. JOSHWRIGHT. JOSHWRIGHT GGUIDED. Okay. Come on. I know I couldn't have been that long ago that I've seen this person last. Come on now. I know I've liked and shared their videos. There's no way that I'm missing them. And I won't specify too deeply, anyway, never mind. That thought I'm not going to finish. But why can't I find them all of a sudden? Come on now. I should have seen at least one video from them by now. At least one. And I'm finding it kind of wild that I haven't. I want to take that as a sign, but I don't know. Maybe I just didn't like their... No, I know I would have had to have liked it by now. me see if I can search them up real quick. Where? Let's see. This is kind of insane. Okay, let me go. Maybe I've saved one of their videos by now. It's not very often that I do that, but especially because I recently went, well, whatever. Do. No. Did I not save one of their videos either? I'm sorry. You may just have to skip a while for this. There we go. Let me look them up real quick. Nope. Okay. There we go. Huh, interesting. Didn't know they went by that name on here, but okay. They go by like Smashed Cricket on TikTok. SMASHEDCRICKET. They have an Instagram, LEMKESCREATIONS. They're really cool. That one in particular, they seem really well versed, in all honesty, and really well explained. Do I agree with them 100% on everything? No, I don't. I think you'd be hard pressed to find any other human in this world, aside from possibly the person that you marry and Jesus Christ, that you 100% agree with. And even the person you marry, you're probably not going to agree with 100% and 100% of the time. So those people were kind of all the ones that I've seen throughout doing this and also before that kind of helped motivate me and get into it, especially Cheese Stickers. That guy, super funny, really awesome content. I would very highly recommend you do that. I also don't know the etiquette of all this, so like if I have to take this video down, I'm probably going to save this video on my computer for a bit if I somehow get blown up by these people by dropping their names and whatnot. Again, these are all, screen names and whatnot. I don't know them personally, mind you. I'm just doing it because, again, they kind of helped motivated me and whatnot and pushed me. Not really pushed me personally, but motivated me is what I'll say. And I like their content, and it's really good. There was one more, actually. There's one more. Sorry, I don't mean to do this, but I know I saved one of his videos for certain. Where that video is, I do not know. I do not know. I do not know. Nope. Nope. I know I've saved his video. Come on now. I know, I have. It's not this guy, is it? No, this is someone else. I know I do. I know I do 110%. I saved it because it was really good for what it was talking about, which I won't specify what it is particularly. Gosh darn it. I'm sorry, I should have been more prepared than this. No. No. through videos, scrolling 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 through videos. You? Nope. I could have sworn that I saved his video, but I can tell you I haven't seen one of his videos in a hot minute, that if I don't have it saved, I won't be able to find him. Darn it. Yeah, I've gotten to the end of my... photos and whatnot here. Could it be up here? Was that it? No. What? Oh, yep. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I have it. Darn it. Oh, well. Anyways, this video has gone on for 21 minutes now, and like a quarter of it is me just searching for videos. I'm sorry. Anyways, I haven't given my actual thoughts on the Bible, and what I will say is, even though I kind of feel like I sped through it a little bit, very good read. And not just in the sense that I'm reading something like fictitious or something. If you're taking it as something historical, once again, very good read, because again, it has history. It has accounts. It has lack of better terms here, it has it all. It has metaphors. It has similes. It has not even fictitious action, but it has action. It's wild from start to finish. Mind you, the one that I read is Gideon, and I do hope to eventually somehow, I don't know how I'll get my hands on one, a different type of Bible. One of the things that I've always said up until and even before reading it is that I didn't want to read a King James version because, and I think I've said this in a few different videos, that there's only one king that matters, and that's Jesus. So, yeah, I'm kind of happy that I obtained, somebody may or may not have taken it from a dresser drawer in a hotel, a Gideon Bible. And one of the other things that I find really wild is, as much as people people have taken it and actually contorted it. I literally read it, and it's sticking in my mind, not because like I don't know what to say. It's literally making me think about things differently these days. But it's like homosexuality is a sin, you know? So it's like, okay, wow. There are people that say that it doesn't, but maybe that's just Gideon's version. It could just be that, but at the same time, why are we adding or subtracting or changing the Bible, you know? It feels a little weird and wrong to do that. And I know there's like some really old Bibles out there that some people have and whatnot. It's super cool and super awesome. I'll probably never obtain one. I was kind of interested in maybe finding one eventually, but I don't think I'll ever actually get to. Which is fine. I'm tired of being of this world, as many other Catholics and Christians and whatnot, and people that believe in Jesus probably feel. But that's something that actually, that kind of thought process leads me into thinking, is that I don't want to, like, do what I'm doing only because I want to get into heaven or something, which in a way feels like a good amount of what my life has been throughout my life. But at the same time, I know that I'm inherently unworthy and, in a way, for lack of better terms, wicked, evil. which kind of really ultimately sucks. I don't know what to say aside from that. You know, it's like it feels like doing something simply because you expect the reward, and I don't want to do that. And you know, I've been I don't know. Life has been a mess and chaotic and hectic, and nothing has ever made real sense. Again, I'm not even diving into the actual nitty gritty of all this. If I were to do that, well, I don't. I won't say specifically, but let's just say it'd be totally different. Things would be totally different, I think. I don't know. I don't know, you know, and there's just so much, and I I don't know. Something I've been doing since I've said it before, I don't believe in luck. I've kind of just been opening the Bible, and even today, just before recording this, I kind of opened it to the random verse, like I said, and random doesn't really do it, but I think God's messages are in there now. I may be too dense and too stupid to understand it, and maybe it's telling me about my day, maybe it's telling me about something in the future. I don't know. All I know is at this point, I'm more and more doing my best to let Jesus take the wheel. You know, I'm getting rid of stuff. I'm getting rid of, like, you know, like I said, this technology and all that stuff. I don't know how much longer in my life I'll keep it really around. I don't even like, you know, these phones that we have to keep on us all the time. You know, everything's become electronic and digital, and I want to stop doing it. Okay, life is difficult enough. I want to do better. You know, become more active. I've kind of gained some weight since my accident. I don't know, and my life, it's not difficult per se. You know, it could be way worse. But I don't really have any friends right now, and nobody that I can, like, hang out with, and I don't really like drinking or anything anymore, because not that I like to go too far, but, like, I definitely do like to drink, to get drunk a lot of times. And if I'm doing that, I'm definitely staying at home. But if I were to go out and just have a couple, I could probably do that. I could probably be more moderate about it and to keep myself more in check. I don't know. I did do that one time, and I definitely didn't keep myself in control. But I'm older now, wiser, one would hope. Pray to God. I didn't mean to roll my eyes there. I don't know. But then again, it's also difficult. I don't know. I wish there was more to say. I feel like there was more to say. Well, I've got more time before I go and get my hair cut, so I'll save this as is. It's like March 6th now, as of when I'm recording this. And I mean, I guess for this, like, little segment, that's all. God bless you all. All glory to Jesus Christ. And, well, there's no more seeing you in the next video, but I guess since I don't know if I'll add more to this or not. See you in the next, like, half a second. So this is still March 6th. I said some things, but my recording device wasn't on. There were some proverbs, I believe, that talk about not boasting and not speaking about things you want to happen, or else it gives, I guess, like I was saying as well, I don't believe in the whole wuxia stuff, but at the same time, do I believe that there's some influence that the devil has to have, and some legions of his own that he has that kind of whisper in our ears but can't really take over us anymore, because we are still at the end of the day accountable for our own actions. Because again, the only person that gets to decide whether we get into heaven is God. As much as I don't know, it's not like I remember exactly what I said, because I don't want to sit here and I don't know. Anyways, but basically it was the whole proverb about, like, and this is why I don't open up about everything or anything, because if God wants it to happen, it will happen. It's, man, I just saw it the other day on TikTok. Proverbs, like, 22, it's like either the verse is 22 or the chapter is 22, I forget which, but it's like, don't boast about tomorrow, for you don't know what tomorrow brings, or it's more or less promoting full reliance on God. And like I said, if God wants it to happen, it'll happen. And I don't recall exactly everything that I said. I do remember saying that I'm trying to fit through the narrow door, the narrow gate. It's difficult, and I think I mentioned this in the last portion of it, because it's only been like half a second, but that whole bit that got muted, I'm sorry. I don't know. If there's more to this video, I'll try and write it down throughout my days. I don't exactly, we'll see. Even again, how long this video even goes on. But yeah. Thank you all once again for your time on this wonderful journey, and God bless you all, and all glory to Jesus Christ. Well, since this is going to be an addition to the video, I'm not going to do the intro, final video here. I kind of had some things that I'd like to say. There's an Ecclesiastes-esque quote that I thought of while I was, as much as I hate to admit it, but I'll say it, drinking yesterday. That I kind of wanted to share with you all in this video, and it went... And again, Ecclesiastes being my favorite book from the Old Testament. I thought of it like this. No, maybe I don't even want to say. Maybe it feels like the thought was given to me like this: the dead are envious of the living, and the living are envious of the dead. It's sort of like a lot of us are like, man, I'll sleep when I'm dead, or whatever type deal, and it's like we don't really enjoy life. Now the dead, it's sort of, what's the word? Oh, goodness. Hyperbole? No, not hyperbole. Hyperbolic. Man, I can't remember the word now. Oh, whatever. At the end of the day, it seems a little backwards because, again, the dead can't really feel or be jealous. But, let's just say for a second, you're dead now. Pretend you're dead. And you're like, man, I didn't get to do all those things I wanted to do while I was alive. Well, I had to, So it's, I don't know. It's kind of just something that I, thought of, or I don't want to say I thought of, but it feels like the thought was given to me and just felt like sharing. And there was another one, and this kind of has to do with, again, more philosophy. Is that now mind you, it's not like I do nothing. I do try and help where I can help, where I know I can be of good help. But my solutions, as far as I can tell, for everything, and it's very much in line with something that I believe I said, whether it was in the silent part of the video that will be at the end of this video, because that was me recording, and I just do that for fun. You don't have to watch all that, but it's there to show you that sometimes that happens. Is that the solution, as far as I can tell, is to do nothing. There's nothing you can do. We can't stop the end of the world. We can't change the end of the world. At best, we can change our behavior, and that's about it. so we can, hopefully as many of us can get into heaven as possible, which should be the end goal, But that's been my, and there's more Ecclesiastes-esque quotes in my head that I've had, that deals more than that. But it's like, with everything comes nothing, and with nothing comes everything type deal. It's super stupid, but there's still some mild amount of weight there, because technically with everything, if you were to, let's, forgive me, Lord, let's pretend you're God now for a second. With everything, you still also have nothing. Like, nothing itself exists. So it's like, okay, but I can also make everything exist. And then when nothing exists, well, everything exists. It's almost like your imagination, Everything can exist in there, and yet nothing at all as well. It's again, stupid Ecclesiastes-like quotes, and, can't do anything to change God's plan because, again, we're not God. But I don't know. Maybe I like to sit here and pretend like I could be, even though that's Satan talk. I couldn't be. I do absolutely no better. In fact, I would do far worse than what God has done. So, I don't know. Just a little addition to this video. I don't know how much longer it'll go on, how many more bits I'll have to say, especially before I get my hair cut. But, as always, thank you all for giving me the time out of your day. God bless you all, and all glory. Why I started it like that. This video has already been going on for a little bit. Lord knows how long. I'm not even going to know until after I do the editing process, so. No. Today has been a stumbling block kind of day. And, it's not like a horrible fall or anything, but definitely a stumble today that I'm not really proud of, and I'm trying to be better about. It's difficult, okay? The walk with Jesus is difficult. But I think I'm hoping this will be roughly about the last time I make any more to this video. We'll see. I still don't even have an appointment to get this chopped off yet, so long as I still have this, possibility exists that more may be said. So the plan for this video is what I'm going to say after this plan. And then kind of like or at least the rest from that I am aware of right now. And then my actual kind of like, and it's going to be, unfortunately, very, I don't want to say shallow, but I guess shallow is going to be the extent of it. Very simple review, because it feels like I haven't reviewed it well enough. It's almost like it's not sticking well enough or something. I don't know. Of my first time reading the Bible. And then there's going to be a little kind of bit at the end of me being silent and kind of talking, because, I think I did it in one video before as well, because I was just like, let you guys see what that kind of looks like anyways. So a thought that kind of occurred to me is, while I was at work, that kind of recurred to me twice, because I forgot it and then I recalled it. Thanks be to the Lord. It's like, we all know that we're all important to Jesus, and he would much prefer to have us all back and together and all that. But it's like, how much more important can important be? We're not all going to be Davids. We're not all going to be, even though I don't know why you'd aspire to be entirely, Nebuchadnezzar or anything like that, or Pontius Pilate or Jesus himself. Again, you're never going to live up to that, ever. So don't even try and dream of that. You may come close, but we're all human. So, So yeah, there's that. And then there's a few things on my phone that I wrote down. Again, I think while I was sitting waiting to clock in at work yesterday. Do my best to remember the thought process behind them all, but it's not like I can get 100% of my exact thought process down. Where's my notes app? There it is. Oh yeah, there. I saw on a slideshow, and some people like to say it as well and whatnot, is that we are God's perfect creation. Mind you, I have a slightly strong dislike of the word perfect because nothing in this world is perfect, and that kind of harkens back to my point of what's perfect in the world. Nothing. That whole sort of Ecclesiastes nihilist almost mindset is that from what I read, and this is again just from my and what I hear, is that he never once called us perfect. We were good. He said, it's good. My creation is good. Never once did he say perfect. There is only one being that's perfect in all of creation and before creation, really. And that's God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Themselves. And by themselves, I really mean him/herself. I say themselves because, again, this goes into a personal view of mine, is that I really, truly, honestly feel like, and mind you, I don't know, but honestly, truly feel like that in order for things to have happened, there's two ways I see the Garden of Eden scenario really kind of happening and being worthwhile. There's the way that it's told, and in solidarity, Adam ate the apple with Eve, or Satan being essentially, and not to compare him to God, but again, there's apparently God gave him a lot of, for lack of better terms here, even though we're taught that angels don't have freedom, or didn't, or whatever, a lot of freedom to do whatever he needed to do to try and show that he's better or equal. I wouldn't even say equal, but neither here nor there. Better or equal to God, and should be able to sit where he sits. And that's if maybe they both bit into it at the same exact time, while in kind of like two different places, but being tricked by the same serpent, though, or something, bending reality, warping, I don't know, making them, it doesn't matter, neither here nor there. That's in my preference, because again, woman, again, and the story really does say that woman's made from the rib. So who am I to contradict God? So maybe that's completely and utterly wrong. But again, woman is made in God's image too, technically, even if they are just the rib, It's not like they're all that much different than man. They just have different parts, I don't want to get too into depth there. That's biology. Very obvious. So it's like, again, there's no way women aren't made in God's image as well. It's just that's again, I don't know any other way to say it, Things are slightly different, but a good 99% of it all is the same. Anyways, but yeah, back to what I was initially talking about, is that God never called us perfect. Maybe the favorite creation, because the angels were technically created before we were, theoretically, possibly, from things that I've been told, and from kind of my own perspective of it. Which, yeah. So I don't believe we can't be perfect. There was one perfect man, yes. That was God taking on the flesh, entering into his own house, essentially. So that was just something that I saw kind of in my TikTok feed. Oh yeah, and this has to do with time as of when I started recording this and the day that it is, March 10th, 2026, with what's going on in the world. I don't recall seeing there's supposedly like a prophecy or something. Maybe it's in Enoch. Maybe it's in some other kind of Malachi. I do believe it's Malachi because there was the Malachi prophecies. But I don't recall seeing the whole, like, because someone I talked to about this stuff kind of heavily said that at some point, it's going to be like everybody turns against the country of Israel, and America is kind of just has their hands tied because Israel has pissed off just that many people, and our hands are tied. We don't do anything. Apparently, there's like seven young nations will rise, and then basically be put into their place or something. I don't recall the prophecy exactly. Never read that one in the Bible from what I can recall. Maybe it didn't stick out to me as well as it should have, because it's something that I should have been looking for but wasn't entirely, because I should have been. It's something else that would have been nice for me to focus on and to have stick out like a sore thumb with the person I've been talking to this about. But I saw, again on TikTok, I think it was a comment. Somebody was like, along the lines of not to connect prophecy to real world events like wars, but at the same time, how else are prophecies supposed to be fulfilled? Just because you don't want to believe that it's not a prophetic event or that these things just happen, you are at that point literally denying God's will. And as much as I hate to say it, and I do hate to say it, but Satan's will in all of this as well. So it's like, again, nobody thought the crucifixion of Jesus was a prophetic event, but it was. Nobody thought Moses building an ark was a prophetic event, but it was. I'm sorry, you can't sit there and say that, which is why everybody looks out for these kinds of things. And even saying that, like, I think Trump and a lot of people in the military are saying, like, Trump was anointed by Jesus or by God, however you want to say it, to do this war, to start this war. I'm just like, obviously, again, it's like a thief in the night. Jesus will come like a thief in the night. You will not know. At this point, I don't know if there are going to be any more prophets, and at best, all the prophets are going to be saying is turn to God, accept God, follow God. That's really about it, because there's not much more to it. I don't think there's going to be some war. Jesus' war will be the final war, essentially. And even then, he's only coming back one more time. And that's after Satan's left to roam the earth again for a while. Why is she whining? I let her out. What? Do you want to come in? Better not start whining. I'll kick you while I say out. I'm sorry. Forgive the French there. What? Yeah, no, not playtime. And I'm not even going to edit that out, so forgive me. Kind of working on it all. It's slow and steady, but man, anyways. Okay, fine. Then get out. So it's like you cannot deny the fact that some of these things, some of these just real world events are going to be part of the greater prophecy or a prophecy in general. Sorry, you can't sit there and say that. It's just not how that works. From the believing in God's perspective. Now, if you were, I suppose, atheist, yeah, these are just events that are just going to happen because conflict is, and I can still agree to this to an extent, virtually inevitable. But again, why is it inevitable? You've got to, and that's again, I think I've said this at one point, maybe not, but one of my most favorite questions in my mind has always been why. And the more you follow that why back, or even if you're asking how or when or who or where, again, you're going to start asking that why more anyways. Why did Moses build the ark? How was Moses chosen? All this stuff, or not Moses, Noah's ark, and Moses freed the slaves anyways. Why, how, when, where? Again, mainly it's going to lead you back to why, and the why will, I don't even want to say unfortunately, but lead you to God. To lead you to God. So there's all that. And then another little thought here is that, and this is going to seem insane. Now, obviously, God knows how many angels he's created, and we all know that a third of the angels fell with Lucifer and whatnot. But you've got to realize that third is going to seem infinite, because, and I don't even know if there's any real way of knowing how many angels there are, other than, God himself knowing. But for simplicity's sake and for the thought's sake, is that what's 1/3 of infinity? I mean, it's, I don't know what to say, It's going to seem infinite, but again, and it's most likely not, but it's like, how many angels were there and how many fell and how many, it's an insane thought experiment, because 1/3 of infinity would still be infinity, because as long as infinity is infinitely being more infinite, that means that 1/3 is infinitely being 1/3 of infinity. Yeah, kind of wild, brain buster there. So, and again, they're most likely not. There's most likely a fine limit. God's probably, I'm not going, again, not speaking for God, but from this little scenario I'm posing, is that God's probably just stopped making angels and be like, okay, well, gotta let all this happen, and then, yeah. Anyways, maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm done. But now I suppose I will move on to, and I hate to say it, but it's going to be very surface level. And I don't really want to treat this like I was just reading another book, because I wasn't. I was reading the book. And it's like I've said earlier in this video, is that a lot of the main reasons was the stuff appearing on my For You page on like TikTok and whatnot, and a few other events and incidences that have occurred in my life that I'm not proud of, and my own addiction, and looking for strength and turning back to God. And it's like I said, when I left in that pew when I was 13-ish, turned away from the path he had, which I come to regret more and more every day. I think I don't know. Maybe I'm still on it. It's just a little bit of a detour. Who knows? But it's a really good read. And if I was able to find things that are applicable to me and are part of my story, there's no reason why other people out there shouldn't also be able to. Is it a selfish reason? Yes, because ultimately it's more about Jesus and God than it will ever be about any of us. But this is to say that God has seen it all. God knows it all. There's nothing new to him. There will never be, which kind of seems like a sad way to exist, but nothing new to God, Well, there will be, but then again, it's already here, and also not, because, the whole Revelation still has to happen. But the new Jerusalem and all that, and the new heaven and new earth. Yeah, it was, and it has been, really enjoyable. I actually kind of looked forward to it, even though I kind of burned myself out on it a little bit, especially there towards the end, because in a way, I wanted to get this done before my birthday, which is still, as of March 10th, coming up, but y'all don't get to know. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how much there is to say. It's history. It's the future. And it's proof that there's more out there. And that even if you feel unloved, you are. You're very much loved. Somebody still died for you, even if you feel like nobody in the world ever would, and somebody still loves you, even if you feel like, and this is something that I need to really digest, but somebody out there loves you, even if you feel like no one out there does. Not to say that I don't have that, it's just that, and this is probably about as deep as I'll go with myself, but something I've always longed for, and I feel like all of us really do, and obviously love for Jesus and love for your parents and love from family and all that's different, but true love, and even the Bible says it, at some point a man will leave his parents and cling to his wife, and I don't really think it said the opposite, which is kind of weird, but neither here nor there. Maybe it did, and I'm just kind of blanking it a little bit. And even if I don't deserve it, I still desire it, want it, I would like it. I don't know. All in God's timing, though. It's just, I don't want to go any further with that than that. But it has an impact on you. Or at least it should. And I don't know how much more there is to say about it. It's everything. I don't, as much as it's like I kind of started this portion, you're probably going to see the cut and whatnot of this portion of the video with, is that, like, how much more important can important be? I'm never going to be a David. I'm never going to be a Moses. I'm never going to be a Nahum or a Peter or a Paul or a Simon or a Matthew or a John or James. But I suppose I'm still important to him, and maybe it's worthwhile to pick up your cross and go back to him. He knows that he already picked up his. And it's a struggle, man. Like, even now, some of the thoughts that are going through my head, being human's a struggle. It really is. And I don't know. I don't know what more there is to say. So, heck, maybe I'll even go and get that haircut sooner rather than later to leave it off. Honestly, I think I may even just leave it off at this, because I don't know how much more there could possibly be. So most likely I feel like, thank you all for your time and joining me on reading the entire Holy Bible aloud and allowing me to share the good Lord's word with you all. God bless you all, and all praise to Jesus Christ, and all glory to Jesus Christ.